Woi, we are sorry, bas.
Good morning, good morning.
Good morning, everyone. Karibuni sana.
Yani leo.
Karibuni sana to another edition of that show.
Yani, bado tunasema happy new year. This is the first business show for this year.
Yeah.
Yani, karibuni sana. Welcome. Guy. Sorry, kuna vile tuko, lakini tuko hapa.
Thank you guys all so much for joining us this morning.
Yeah.
And for those who have already joined us from the fast, which was on Friday,
imagine,
for our Thanksgiving show.
Yeah,
tulikuwa na makasiriko last week. We did not have.
We were just here giving thanks and just being happy. Yani celebrating the new one, brand new. Wezi ingia mwaka mpya na makasiriko, si ndio?
Unaweza pia.
After the kind of makasiriko people had last year, I think this time guys were just like, you know what, let's
if
just
you have something to kasirika about, then why not?
Meet us here on Friday. We shall help you to air it out. Just let us know in the comment section what you'd like us to kasirika on your behalf about. But leo tunaongea juu ya pesa. Pesa. Yani, it's figured that time people like calling it in January, lakini I think that thing is a myth.
I think if you plan for January, then it should never be in January.
Sindo.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
As I said the other time, we all know January is coming. Every year we start in January, and every year we end in December, and we know January is coming.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So
now people are planning for holidays in terms of starting to save for their holidays in December and not waiting to be surprised by school fees, voila, and so on and so forth in January. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's just about kujipanga kidogo.
Sindio?
Yeah.
Ni muhimu. You just can't jump into things like this alafu useme guy, but I didn't know January is coming. You had 11 months to plan.
But you're not jumping into anything. You
had 11 months to plan. Kilinalotanga shida yote is December.
Yeah.
People overdo it in December.
Yeah.
Like I think for me and the thing that I learned, it is possible to save for December. You start saving for December in January.
Maybe I tell you to save for December. Like, okay, here's my question.
Yes.
What's so special about December? Do you see what I mean?
Yeah.
We've been sold this myth that we have to do stuff in December, or we have to do stuff. You know what I mean? Yeah. You have to go on holiday. You have to do something to remember.
You have to celebrate December.
Yeah, but I'm thinking to myself, like, if you start celebrating on the 1st of December, then of course you're going to have January, because then you've got nothing left. And unless, of course, you earn enough to do that, or you've saved your money enough to be able to do that, then that's fine. You know what I mean? But I think what I struggle with is people who don't plan for it, and then in January they're like, hey, you guys, you sub me kidogo, si uniokolena, si unifanyie, you know what I mean? It's like someone doesn't talk to you all year round, but when January comes along, suddenly they're like your best friend. I'm like, come on now, you know. But I think for me the biggest thing is what I learned a long time ago, and I told my son when he was very little, trust me, when it was almost illegal to tell him that Santa is not real. But I had to swear him to secrecy. Because the moment I told the rest of the family that I'm going to tell Kieran that Santa is not real and all these things, it's mommy that buys them, and don't go writing some crazy list because mommy ain't got no millions stashed somewhere.
Nice and not
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So then I had to obviously say to him that, listen, you don't have to go telling all the other kids whose parents still want them to believe that Santa is real, you know. And you have to imagine we were living in a country where Santa is very real. People leave out cookies so that their parents have to eat them in the night. Give yourself indigestion because you want to make your child believe in something that doesn't exist, which is not a problem. If that's your thing, that's your thing.
You do it.
But I'm not going to go broke because I'm trying to
live a tradition
that is not even our tradition.
Ililetwa ilikamna wale wase Sio lazima.
You know what I mean?
Because you're just putting on yourself baggage that really you don't need. Because your child is there with a list from here to Timbuktu, expecting things. Na January ndio ile iko pale, so you're here thinking, okay, so am I going to buy this PlayStation 5?
Yeah, but the clever people, what they do is they know what their kids want all year. For me, what I said to my son was, listen, I'm not going to wait for Christmas to buy you all the things that you've wanted all year round. I am going to buy you things throughout the year. You know, if it's your birthday, I'll buy you something. If it's if you do something that we've agreed that you're going to get rewarded for, I'm going to get you something. You know what I mean? So that they're getting things all year round. It's not that Christmas, they have to get new clothes, the PlayStation has to be got, the new Xbox, a bike. You know, your kid is waiting all year for this one day.
And then you buy all those things.
You buy all those things and then they get broken in like 2 weeks flat. You know what I mean? So, or even if not broken, it's like, how do you start to appreciate all these things that come just like that from Santa? You know, like what message for me? What message? I'm not talking against Santa. I'm just talking about this culture of
gifting.
Kila kitu mara moja.
At the same time,
you know what I mean? And not teaching our children that these things actually come from us, and we have to work hard for these things. You know what I mean? Lazima nijipange the whole year ndio nikununulie hiyo bike. It's good to manage our children's expectations. Because a lot of the time you find that parents are bending over backwards, especially parents our generation, to please their children. So having spending money that they don't have for things that their children do not need. Do you see what I mean? Because there's a need and a want. Just because my child wants, because my neighbor's child has it, doesn't mean that it works within my budget. It's okay to educate your child that sometimes I don't have. Because otherwise they grow up thinking money grows on trees. And then when they grow up, it becomes a very difficult life for them. Because they're used to instant gratification. They're used to getting something for nothing. And all of a sudden now they have to work for their money, they have to work for everything they want, they have to, you know what I mean? So it's like, what we have to always ask ourselves when we are planning to spend, you know, why am I planning? You know, not everyone akona uwezo the same, you know, and not everyone has to plan, let's be honest. You know, there are billionaires out here, you know, they're not many. But they're there.
It's coming.
You know what I mean? The kids have the latest phones, the kids have the latest whatever, the kids are driving at 16, whatever. You know what I mean? But that's their lifestyle. The rest of us, we have to be
if you know you need
more sensible. We have to be more sensible with money. But that also starts with us speaking to our children about being sensible about their expectations of what we can and can't do. Because a lot of us are living in debt because we're trying to please our children and give them the things that we never had.
Somebody said that thing of we want to give them everything we didn't have, and this was about food actually. And we were just there chatting, and it got to a point we started talking about food, and she was like, you know, these things, I just buy the child junk. He can eat whatever he wants, so that by the time he's older, he sees them and he's sick of them.
That's not going to happen. You're creating bad habits.
Exactly. I was like, he's always going to be expecting it to be there, because you're like, you started there. If I want biscuits, I just know I have to go to the cupboard and get it. I want crisps, it's always there. So what I would say, I was like, okay, fine. It's okay to give them, but not all the time. Just give kidogo.
For me, I don't even criticize other people's parenting. They can parent how they want, but I criticize what their parenting does to their children, because these children, they don't know better. You know, I don't criticize, I talk about, I advocate, rather, I don't criticize, I advocate for the children, because the moment you start giving what they want when they want, you're creating a very bad culture of instant gratification. And also another thing is, what we have to think about is our children are mainly sedentary. Our children are not like what we used to be. So when we give them all this junk food when they want it, We are creating ndani, they might not be fat,
on the
but
surface,
inside,
but
what are we creating? We're nurturing high blood pressure, we're nurturing type 2 diabetes, we're nurturing obesity hapa mbele kidogo.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And obesity comes with other things, fatty liver disease, all these things, So we have to think about and also what we have to think about, what is it doing to us as individuals in terms of our health, People are getting cancer from stress. People are getting tumors from stress. Work-related stress so that they can earn enough to give a certain lifestyle to their children. And then when you die or when you become ill and can't work anymore, then these children are downgraded to a life that they never even thought they could live. Or even just yourself, because you're used to a certain lifestyle. But if that lifestyle is making you ill, then what is it worth to you?
Yeah, what's the point? It's taking from me instead
of adding. So I think just a little bit of, I know people don't like this word planning, budgeting, any of those words, But if we just think consciously, let me just put a bit of money aside for a rainy day. You know what I mean? Hata kama tu ni 2K per month, 3K per month, 5K per month, 10K per month, whatever it is that you think you can manage to put aside. Ukieka mahali where it's in a jizaa, like if you save that money, say for example, M-Shwari or another locked account that gives you money back, you in circles, in money market funds, stuff like this. There's a lot of things that you can invest your money on. Now, if you invest enough through the year, there's that cumulative effect of saving. So again, I said, uki save 1,000 today. In 3 months' time, it won't be 1,000. Itakuwa imejiza 1,000 and something.
Exactly.
Sasa iyo and something pia ina an interest. So that's money that you didn't even have to work for.
Yeah.
You see what I mean? That money is working for you. Exactly. Your 1,000 is working for you, but also the interest that it has earned that you didn't have to work for is earning. You know what I mean?
So you have uko na pesa. It's not rubbish, because a lot of people shy away from saving, especially in institutions, because they're like, si ni kuweka tu pesa. Sawa, ni kuweka tu pesa, lakini angalia, go ask about what's the interest that's going that you're going to gain from there. Kaa chini angalia, whatever, as long as you're earning something on top of your money. Ai boys, chukua usiweke chini ya pilo. Sawa, eka chini ya pilo, ni pesa yako. It's your money, do as you wish. Lakini ukitoa chini ya pilo, vile uliweka hivyo 12K,
utapata tu 12K.
Unaona? So peleka kwa bank, peleka mahali, invest it somewhere, put it somewhere, so that at least it's multiplying, whatever percentage it is. Si ndio? Usitake kujinyima pesa na uko na pesa.
I think the biggest thing we forget is that when we put our money where it can earn interest, is the compounded, and this I keep talking about, the compounded effect of saving. Even through 1 year, you will see that. You know what I mean? So tukieka pesa mahali pali inajiza, that's money that generally you don't need to use today. You know what I mean? Lakini hata unajua ukilock kwa M-Shwari, within 48 hours, if it's an emergency, and usually it's within 24 hours. Usually hiyo 48 hours tu ni ya kujifunika, wajue at least hiyo tutakuwa, we can do that,
you can do it within,
wajipange, and also it gives them hiyo time, because obviously when you give them your money, when you put your money into like a locked account, that money doesn't just sit there. That money is reinvested so that they can also earn money, so that when they give you your interest, au pia wamekula kidogo juu,
umepatia mtu akushikie.
Exactly.
So akikushikia hizi katuna yo hapo, so they make it work for them, so that when you need it in time, they're like, here's your money.
And that's why you have to give them notice, so that now wajipange na hiyo 48 hours waseme sawa, hii 48 hours watu wangapi wameitisha, watu wangapi hawajaitisha, hii go tunaenda kuiweka wapi, so that they can they just move it, so but at the end of the day, it gives you something back. And these little amounts, we think they're little, but these amounts, those are the amounts that then at the end of the year you can say, oh, I earned interest of X amount.
Exactly.
I am going to take that interest and do something with it, as in nijiambie asanti. Alafu your initial capital, you can reinvest. You know what I mean? So that you're not just saving to spend. Because otherwise, what's the point? Why are we saving? And that's why, like, if you're going to save, like, there's a really good Facebook page called 52-Week Challenge. Yeah. For all those of you who I'm with you, please check it out. It's Afteni, I'll link it in the comments, upper comment section. You guys can check it out. It's really good because what it does is it gives you ideas of how to save. You can save weekly, you can save monthly, you can, and they have different amounts that you can save as well. And they have charts that you can go ticking nini vitu kama hizo, you know. So it's also accountability because you know that you've joined a group. So therefore, at the end of the year, I have to come and say that nilifanya hivi na hivi, nilijaribu kufika hapa lakini si kufika. So now this is where I am. You know what I mean? But it gives you that, it's like going to the gym. You can work out at home, but you don't. Why? Because you know motivation itaisha hapa katikati. You know, some of us can, and some people can. Some people have that drive.
Then I'm like,
you know what I mean? So some people have that drive, and some people don't. So if you know you're one of those people, like Naita Tieno, who doesn't have, who is not the only thing I'm self-driven about doing is working out. That's the only thing, you know. It's coming. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So for me, I just think that it's a good thing to, if you know that you're not somebody who is self-driven, find these groups. You don't have to join the 52-week challenge. You know,
you go through the page.
Exactly. Even hata kama ni chama or you know what I mean? Something like that. You know. So it's just about asking yourself. You know, like.
And then the thing I like about this 52-week savings challenge is if you've had problems in the past saving, and you come up with this one and you pick whatever amount you want, and you print the thing and put it there, honestly, you'll push yourself to it because you know there's these things we keep saying to ourselves, like, this year lazima ni save, this month lazima ni save. Guess what? Now you have a printout, it's on the wall.
That's it.
Unaona, so ukiamka kwanza you put it where every day unajua lazima mupitia hapa. Unaona, you put it in the bathroom, hapo hivyo kwa kioo lazima utajiangalia, lazima hapo juu ya bed lazima utalala. Like somewhere on top of the microwave, somewhere you'll see it, like those obvious spots, you know. You'll see it and then you'll be like, what? Leo sijaeka nini, sijaeka 200 yangu, sijaeka 50 bob yangu, sijaeka 10 bob yangu. Unaona? And you remember at least to deposit. At the end of the year, my friend, hey, you're here smiling.
That's true.
Unaona? So it's alafu plus you have different amounts to pick. You don't have to pick 4,000, you don't have to pick 2,000, you don't have to pick 300 or 50 bob. You just look at it and see the one that suits you. Sindio? Because hata kama unataka tu ya kufanya trisex.
That's it. And even if it's just works. An idea, because sometimes you don't have to copy paste everything. Sometimes it's about just getting an idea of how you can do it, and then tweaking it so that it works for you. You know, like this thing of saving 50 bob and incrementally putting, so next week it's 100, the next week is 150 or 100, then 200, then 300, evo. That thing, it doesn't work for everyone at those amounts, or even on a weekly basis type thing, but it might work on someone for someone else on a monthly basis type thing, on a 10% basis type thing, because we are told all the time, save at least 10% before you start earning. You know what I mean? Before you start earning. So let's think about this. How can I put something aside for a rainy day? Because also what it avoids, it stops us from doing is landing into debt. For me, that's the biggest reason why I save. Because hapa hivi juzi, January has come. I ran multiple businesses. Now, January came, I had to restructure because this wasn't working, this is working, this isn't working. Now I have to take from Peter to pay Paul. Yes? Had I not saved some money last year, I would have had to take a loan. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah.
And taking that loan means paying somebody else interest,
True.
which means taking money out of my pocket,
your
out of
pocket.
my business.
Yeah.
You see,
Yeah.
instead of now borrowing from myself and saying, right, this is a loan
Exactly.
to this business.
Yeah.
Now, when that loan is repaid, I have X amount of money
Exactly.
back in my
account,
pocket.
yes.
You know,
Yeah.
someone asked the other day, if I have a business and I sell whatever, so many mahindi,
Yes.
and I sell maize, if I take a kilogram of maize from my business, do I have to pay myself? Yes.
Yes, ni ya biashara.
You know,
Si yako.
that money belongs to the business.
Yeah.
You and the business, very separate entities. You are not the same thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
When you're at work, you're CEO.
Exactly.
When you're home, you're that other person.
You know, no, even in that place,
Yeah.
you are both.
Yeah.
You are both the customer when you buy from or you consume
yes,
a
yes.
service
Yeah.
from your own business,
Yes.
and you are the proprietor
Yeah.
of said premises or whatever.
Rudia tena na uongeze.
You know what I mean?
Rudia
You
tena na
are
uongeze.
both customer and owner.
Yes.
If you're going to consume from your business, you have to pay the business.
Yeah.
If you have to take your money and put into the business has to pay you back.
Yeah.
Or uongeze hapo hivyo kwenye capital, ndio siku moja hata hiyo business ikifungwa ama whatever, it will pay you back.
Exactly.
Unatoa pesa yako kwanza kabla mtu mwingine yoyote alipwe.
Bas.
Because the first thing is when you put that capital into your business, it becomes a different entity. Huyu sasa ni mtoto mgeni. You know, so you grow this child, you raise this child, you educate this child, you put into this child, but this child, unlike a kawaida child that doesn't have to pay back, does not have to pay back. Parents, please listen. Your children are not your pension fund. Oh, we talked about this. We'll talk about it
See,
again.
I bought you.
Yeah.
I pulled a Santa for you.
You know what I mean? So
honey,
like
now.
we don't have multiple children, so that when we are old, hiyo ndio investment yetu. Ati sasa wewe utakuwa unanipatia 20,000 juu ni daktari, wewe utakuwa unanipatia hii juu ni engineer, you know what I mean?
Mahari,
No. So anyway, that's a topic for another day. Yeah.
Sana Friday.
Exactly. But
Yes. Yeah.
the business is a separate entity, and we cannot take from it as if because we own it, because even the biashara zuanguka.
Even of labels zuanguka, because I've seen several out here, and
Yeah.
And I don't know, unfortunately the ones I saw mostly were salons.
Yeah.
You find that the owner of the salon comes to the salon, she wants to get her hair did, the nails, nini.
Yeah.
So amekuja amekaa ametengenezwa.
Yeah.
Amemaliza ameenda.
Yeah.
So sasa zile wewe utaingia ukikaa hapo unasikia now the staff complaining.
Yeah.
They're like, si madam alikuja akatengenezwa na akaenda. And now wewe mwenye ulitengeneza, because now you can imagine, now you have to balance the books, because I mean you use products, you use things, so eventually they have to be noted down, because I mean we have less shampoo now, we have less nail polish, we have less this and that.
Yeah.
Unaona, lakini sasa ikifika mwisho wa mwezi, ikifika kuja kulipwa, pesa yako inapungua kwa sababu madama kulipa.
Yeah.
So people, let's normalize when you're coming to get service or you're coming to get product from your business, lipa.
Now
Wewe ni customer, because you need to notice that the example you're setting for
That's
these guys,
it.
because you're really sending a mixed message to your staff.
That's it.
Unaona, because leo wataanza kukuibia, itakuwa ni na hawa watu wananiibia.
Yes.
They're following your footsteps.
Yes.
Kwa sababu wewe unajiibia.
Yes.
So wameona ni kawaida.
Yeah.
Let's do this. So set the right example. When you get something from your business, pay it back.
Yeah.
For you, for your staff, whatever, for the books.
And also what we have to remember is, as business owners, the moment you walk into this establishment to get a service, if you don't pay for it, it means that that person who is working on you at that point cannot then work on a paying customer. So you lose twice.
Yeah.
You lose in
You've taken up that space that a paying customer would have taken.
Exactly.
So that's money lost.
You've lost money there, and you've lost money for the business because you haven't paid for the service that you have consumed. You know what I mean? So, but when it comes to, like, if we go back to savings and investments, there are many ways of saving and investing. We've mentioned a few. We've mentioned chamas. We've mentioned locked account like Mshwari. We've mentioned money market funds. We are going to have a show where we talk just about savings and investments, but we're not going to delve too deeply into it today. Today, we wanted to mention it so that you can start thinking about it, so that you can start doing some research. You know what I mean? Because the thing is, we can give you all the knowledge. We can come and pour it out. We can tell you, you can take notes. But if you're not going to go, because when you're investing and when you're saving, you have to do your due diligence. Ukiweka pesa kwa hii sako ilianzwa na nani? Is it registered? Number one, guys, before we go jumping into things, hii chama, umeinvitiwa chama, hii chama ilianzishwa na nani? Ilianzishwa lini? How long have these people known each other? What is the common link between them? How likely is it that huyu treasurer atahepa na pesa yetu? You know what I mean? But ukiambiwa, hii ni chama ya mabeste, we've all known each other for years. We know where each other works. We know where, you know what I mean? One of us has had to leave because they've left the country. Now we have a space. You know, you have to think. Ni kama tu walking into any kind of friendship relationship. Ukisikia red flags, jiulize, uliza maswali. You know what I mean? If you feel like you're hesitant to join, ask those questions. You know what I mean? It's the same with borrowing, you know? Now, a lot of us are finding ourselves, especially post pandemic, we are asking ourselves, where am I going to? I haven't been earning. Either I've been earning less because I was followed, or I've been earning next to nothing all year. The children are going back to school. Yes, we all knew they were going to go back at some point. But we were not all in a position to put money aside. You know, yourself, you probably have been recalled to work, which means now you have to think about transport. You have to think about, what am I going to eat while I'm out? Transport ya watoto. Nitafute mtu, maybe you let your help go because you didn't need them during this time because ulikuwa home all the time. Now you have to start thinking about getting this person back or getting somebody to replace them. You know, all these things, all this is money.
It's money.
You know,
expensive,
and a lot of us are now thinking, I need to get money from somewhere. Right? For a lot of us right now, borrowing is not even, not borrowing is not an option. But let us be safe in how we are borrowing. You know what I mean? I saw someone the other day said that akuna options mbili. Kuna pesa amepata na either anaweza kulipa ile loan alikuwa amechukua ajenge, ama anaweza amalize kujenga na hiyo pesa, ama I invest in another thing that can bring them money. Now this other thing, there's nothing in this world that in terms of investment that is a sure bet. However, there are things that are lower risk. You know, those lower risk things don't usually yield high, but they yield nonetheless. You know, so if you're somebody who is risk averse, if you're somebody who hasn't got money to lose, then you think about really going for these low risk investments that yes might give you lower returns in the short term, but at least unaget kakitu. You know, so this person said akona loan na ana service loan. Now, let's just remember that whenever you're servicing a loan, you're paying interest. You see? Na alikuwa na hiyo pesa sasa yenye ingemaliza hiyo loan, lakini hangeendelea kujenga. What would you have done? How would you have advised that person?
Akona do, anaweza lipa hiyo loan yote, but
anaweza either alipe hiyo loan
the whole amount and
they could they could afford to pay the whole amount, or aendeleze mjengo yake yenye alikuwa ameanza nyumba iko poa. Si ati aishi mbaya,
like
no, as in they're already living in the structure but they just need to keep expanding. You know, like how people now they start with
building, then you
one
room and then
yes, na ka kitchen,
yes,
or na ka bathroom.
Yeah, so you're
exactly
finishing the house.
That's it. So you finish the so hizi zingine zinakuja zikiongezeka. You see what I mean? So hiyo ndio ilikuwa situation yake. How would you have advised this person? What would have been your course of action if it was you? Tuseme tu kangi kwa wewe.
Already niko na hao. So at least hapo niko na, lack of a better word, a safety net. Hiyo loan ningeilipa kwa sababu the longer naendelea kukaa nayo naendelea kuzaa.
Yeah.
Unaona? So hiyo ni interest inaendelea kiongezeka sijui vitu zina nini aje.
Yeah.
If I can pay that loan,
at
least nikiwa nimemaliza, kama naweza chukua ingine, ndachukua ingine, but si lazima ile yote, because I want to believe that hiyo do kile alikuwa anafanyia at the time ilishamsaidia. Unaona? So ikibidi nichukue ingine so that I can get this person have a job.
Yes. And the loan was taken, ilikuwa guarantee yake ni checkbook. Not checkbook, the payslip. You know these ones that they say how much do you earn so that we can give you against a paycheck. Paycheck. So
hiyo loan ilikuwa kujenga by the way.
Wachana na loan ilikuwa ya nini? Wachana na loan ilikuwa ya nini?
Lakini mimi naweza lipa hiyo loan kwanza. At least nimalizane nayo, because kama nimepata hii pesa na naweza ilipa, because I know loans can become a mother. Inaweza, because itaendelea kuzaana. So at least akona job na akona hao. Kama atani loan tena, unajua at least umeshamalizana na hii. So nilipe hii initokee. Niko na job naweza endelea ku maintain. Niko na hao. Unaona? If I need another loan, now I can come to these people and ask them for another loan, because at least nilishamaliza ile nimelipa kila kitu. So
I would have done it a bit differently. I would have, number one, seen how much this loan is costing me. And if I can invest this money in another money instrument that can give me the money to pay off this loan. So my loan repayments are guaranteed against something else other than my payslip.
Okay. Oh yeah, wacha kulipa.
Do you see what I mean? Yeah. So if I can, so what I would have done is I would have reduced my principal amount of the loan. Say maybe by half. So say loan yake ilikuwa ya 500,000. Amepata hiyo 500,000. Now, let's say they're paying this loan at high end 10%. Tuseme tu for ease of mathematics. So tuseme analipa 10% per annum over say 5 years. Now, if I reduce it by half, it means I'm only paying interest on the half that I still owe, and also my repayments come down.
Because you've half to the money.
You see what I mean? So my monthly repayments are lower, which means after your door, I can still save that money as if I was servicing the loan.
The full loan.
As long as everything else that I invest in gives me a little bit more than what I'm paying on this loan in terms of interest. Do you see? So if my interest on my savings and my investments are say come up to if interest per month is costing me 300 on the loan, but everything else that I invest in is giving me 500. Do you see? Do you see? I would not put money on the house, but I would put money on investments, so that this loan now is not being serviced by my salary, which is very risky.
Because
do you see what I mean?
Especially with the nini we have seen. We have
seen
last year.
So that would be the way to go for me.
No, tumeona risky takers.
Na
people wakucheza safe. Because honestly, I think to me, like literally that word debt just
Unaogopa.
Panic mode. I'm thinking, like, because I just see that, for some reason, I just see bad things happening. Bad things. I'm like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. I laugh. It's like in my head, it's like it's written on my forehead. I have a debt.
Yeah,
I have a debt.
Yeah.
So, but at least now, I've learned that we need debt.
Yes.
At some point in life.
Yes.
We need debt at some point in life. Because you can imagine, I've feared debts all my life. Like, every time you think of getting a debt, you're thinking, wow.
Yeah.
And I've learned, yes, sometimes you have to go in that direction. And again, when you're going to get a debt, you have to be smart about it.
Yes.
Because why am I getting that debt?
Exactly.
Ama nachukua tu deni kwa sababu nimeambiwa you are not eligible to get 400,000. Where? 400,000 and nilikuwa na need to 8,000.
I know. I think the biggest thing is a lot of us are constantly being stuff is being shoved in our faces. Oh, take this, take that, take the other. Yeah. You know what I mean? So it's like we're being told all the time, chukua hii loan, chukua hii loan. You're eligible for this. You're eligible for this. And a lot of us are falling into the trap of just taking loans.
You're taking
what we have to think about is what are the terms and conditions? Yes. You know, when you're taking a loan, we have to, the biggest thing for me to always ask is there a penalty for early repayment? The biggest thing for me is there, if I was to get some money, for example, if I was to inherit some money,
some found money,
is there a chance of me being able to repay this loan back without a penalty? You know, nimechukua 500,000 yenyu over 5 years, but after 1 year nimepata 500,000 mahali niwapatie, mutani charge pesa ngapi kuwalipa mapema? Ukiniambia hakuna penalty, mimi ndani. Ukiniambia kuna penalty, best yangu. Because what we have to think about is we need to be able to pay debt off as fast as we can.
As fast as you can, yes. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Sababu hapo umeepuka hizo interest za every month, every year, every nini. There's a lot of things you've escaped. Yani, nimewalipa mapema nipatieni zawadi. Nirudisheni hata 50k basi ya kwenda home. Like, I mean, because if I would have taken that 5 years to pay that 500k, mungeni charge, at least ningewalipa na another extra 100 on top.
Yeah, a lot of people wanajipata kwa noma zingine hata
hawahitaji, unajua. Because you're here wondering, what is this? What is ulienda ukachukua ati cause now umeambiwa ati ndio hii so 4.
Yes.
So 4 ya nini? Wewe mwenyewe labda ulikuwa unataka hiyo 80. Hiyo 80 kati hiyo 80 uko na 60. So unataka tu mbao. But no, you insist you take all the 400. Alafu boss, sasa leo unachukua, sasa leo unakula hiyo pesa kwanza inateremka haraka sana. Ati nini? Ati mabati liko na leak. At the school fees ilikuwa inalipa.
Like you see people all the time online coming and saying ati say I've only missed 1 repayment. Tawana nikimbiza ni kama nime
Did you read the T&Cs?
Guys,
before
we take loans, before we even put our savings somewhere, especially with locked accounts, let us consider the fact that if it's something that you're saving for a rainy day, consider how quickly you can get those funds, you can access those funds. Yeah. Kuna penalty za kutoa if you toa more than once a month. Kuna penalty ya kutoa if you toa more than once every 3 months. Because hata hao wamejipanga na hiyo pesa yako. You know what I mean? So that's why we need to really think about when we are borrowing, when we are saving, why are we borrowing? Why are we saving? Because if you just save for the sake of saving, what will happen is you will get to if you're saving for the year, for example, you will get to the end of the year. And yes, if you were saving for a holiday, go splash.
Go.
But if you were saving just for the sake of saving, utapata hiyo 200,000, hiyo 300,000, utendo splash yote. Uanze tena Januari, you know. But you had goals. So you have to ask yourself, which goal am I saving for this time?
Exactly.
You know, mimi nataka kaploti, kama naweza save hiyo 10%, okay. Also, when you know that you need to borrow and you're not credit worthy right now, you know that you have time to get out of debt, to save up, join the institution that you want to save up with.
Yes.
For example, ukijoin Sacco, after a certain amount of time, you can save times whatever of your investment, of your shares, as they call it. Yeah. So you know that it'll take me 6 months to save for this, but will I need a guarantor?
Yeah.
Do I have someone at this Sacco who can guarantee me? Or do I have a property that I can offset, that I can use as collateral
yes.
for this? Yes. And also, when you use your property as collateral, whether it's a car, whether it's watu wengi wana lose magari zao hapa nje kwa sababu ya hizi logbook loans, they give it to you like this, like magic.
They tell you that like within 24 hours, boss, within 2 hours.
So imagine the easier it is to get a loan, the
faster
less
that guy is going to
attractive their terms and conditions are, because this is not a loan that is meant to benefit you. This is a loan that is meant to, all loans are meant to benefit the institution. But imagine, ukienda sahi kwa bank, utaulizwa maswali mingi, ulizwa mpaka birth certificate ya baba yako, ulizwa mpaka birth certificate ya mama yako. I'm exaggerating. I'm exaggerating, of course. Lakini, this is what it is. You have to go through hurdles to get a loan for most registered institutions, whether it's a Sacco, whether it's a bank, whatever. Most registered institutions that have to adhere to a certain code of ethics have to make it difficult for you to get a loan. You know what I mean? But people who are not registered, wale watu wako tu hivi wenye wanakupatia pesa haraka, you have to remember that they're unscrupulous, and watakuja kukubomolea roof. Watakungolea roof.
Boss, watatuamba hivi kuta moja hivi kuna kuta tatu.
If Wayo and Anogada, karibuni sana, tungewasalimia kitambo lakini conversation iliko imebamba.
Good morning, ladies.
Karibuni sana, and for everyone who's watching who hasn't commented, karibuni sana, and thank you so much for joining us today.
You being here is special.
Kabisa.
Yani umeanza mwaka mpya na sisi.
Yeah. But when we talk about TNCs, let us not just think about TNCs in terms of loans and investing. Let us remember that whenever we buy something, if that thing breaks down before we think it was going to break down, now you're going to have to take money out of your pocket to pay for it. And remember, when people say to you guarantee, warranty, most of these things, and especially in Kenya, are not what the paper they are written on. Like literally, guys, when we're buying things, let us remember that when you're buying something, the cost of replacing that thing before its life is over. Like, for example, if you're buying a phone, you're expecting this phone to last you at least 2 years. Na kama ni simu tu iko hivi na unajua utu tu simu, let's do our research.
Kwa hiyo simu za 1 year unashukuru Mungu, you're like next.
Mimi simu yangu ilikanyagwa na magari kadhaa kwa car park na bado inafanya kazi. Ndio, it cost me a lot of money to buy that phone. But that phone is already almost 3 years old na ilikanyagwa na bado inafanya kazi. Yani ilikanyagwa. Guys, let me show you. I don't know if you can see my screen. Imebondwa.
This phone saw it all, literally. Kalikanyagwo. It was trampled upon. Watu wasome TNCs kwa sababu you went in there, you're going to purchase something, and okay, sawa, au kusoma, you don't even know how to use the thing, and then you go home and then you break it. Alafu unarudi nayo kwa duka, unaenda ku complain, hii kitu mlinipatia nani nana niko na guarantee. But alafu plus when you read the terms and conditions, you actually find that some of them work for you. Unajua unakaa hivi unaangalia unaona okay sawa, umeenda kwa bank nini umepatiwa nini inaitwa kile form ujaze ati okay you're supposed to apply for your bank card. Unaambiwa okay sawa, hii card unaweza itumia hapa na pale na huku kwingine, like you don't always have to use your money. Unaona, lakini usiposoma utaichukua tu, utaenda utaiweka tu kwa wallet imekanga tu pale.
Most banks are now starting to charge people for hiyo service ya kupewa nini,
the card.
Okay.
unaona sasa at least unaona ukisoma vitu kama hizo you'll understand, utajua kuna kapesa kalikatwa mahali.
That's it. And if you don't need the card, what's the point?
No. Read the T&Cs, because you see now again, once you've read the T&Cs, you'll be like, do I really need this thing? No. If not, wachana na hiyo kadi, wachana na hiyo kitu yenye ulikuwa unaenda kunini, ulikuwa unaenda kununua ama you going to apply for.
Oven nikamboa iko na warranty.
Hiyo ilikuwa tu nini inaitwaje? Ilikuwa kama gift uliambiwa madam, enda na karatasi tu isome, alafu utakuwa tu sawa. Because honestly, utapatiwaje warranty and then you go and claim and tell them that Mazijo, this thing of yours is faulty to you. Theizungusha hiyo.
Another thing is, ati saa zingine wanakwambia lazima uchukue wewe mwenyewe ulipie iende kwao.
Wow.
You know, at your own, do you see what I mean?
You delivered it, you brought it, you've told me there's a warranty, if something happens to it, alafu bado tena nichukue niwaletee nyinyi. Okay.
So this is why we really have to think about terms and conditions and how easy vitu zina to affect. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, if we're not getting what we're paying for, then we're losing money.
It's getting out of your pocket, it's not coming back in. You're losing more than you're getting. Uliza maswali hii kitu kaki decide it's not working. Are you going to send a team to the ground to come and check it out? Ama mtatuma team wakuja waichukue waipeleke? Me at least walikuja wakachukua fridge yangu wakatengeneza wakarudisha. Unaona, at least hizi madharau zenye supermarket yenye iliboikotiwa sitasema sana. But hiyo ni kitu ingine. Guys should live up to their promises. You give your word, live up to it. Unaona, usituache tu hapo hanging ati tumeka hapo na my expectations na manini nini ati but you paid, but madam wapi receipt?
Lakini saa zingine hata ukikuja na hiyo receipt yenyewe
wanakuzungusha. Oh my god,
unajisaidiaje?
Madam, enda pale uchague kitu kingine unataka. Lakini nyisi wapoa. But anyway, it's all right. So people, you've heard, learn to read the T&Cs. Hata hizo apps mnaingia kwa simu hizo za ama Shylock. Ni Shylock by the way. Those own apps, those Shylocks that you're approaching, they have terms and conditions. Soma. Unaona, umeenda umeambiwa ati your loan is going to be processed within 24 hours. Boss, 2 hours uko na pesa yako. Umeuza pesa yako 150.
There's a guy who took his car to one of these logbook loans. akapeana ile chote akapeana logbook. Alipewa loan ya 120,000. This car was worth more than 2 million.
Aliuza gari yake 120,000 tuseme.
And you know, if you don't read the terms and conditions, some of them won't even say that we will auction your car and give you the difference. Some of them just say you forfeit your property.
So we come.
Now we're not already working on logbook. You have to logbook.
Ulipei boss, hawezi uza hii gari ndio ukuje inaitwaje ulipei deni yao. Boss, 120. Gari ya 1 point nini meter?
2.2. Guys, let us stop going to these Shylocks. Aki, if you really need a loan,
uza hiyo gari basi.
And nikweli basi.
Uza hiyo gari because I mean nimoti ya 2 point kitu, send it basi for 2. Kula hasara. Kula hasara. Uza hata 1.9 basi. Because you can imagine utanunua deni mbili. Yaani utakuwa na white na ya blue vile unataka na uko na pesa ya juu kutumia. Unaona? So sometimes when it gets to that level, kaa tu chini uanga. Aki Shylock si ndugu yako, si mama yako, lakini kuna mama wengine hapa wanakula mali ya watoto wao.
But I think the biggest thing for me,
I almost fell into those Shylock people, man.
ulikuwa unaenda kuuza gari for 50,000
mazee yani nilikuwa naona tu hivi
Mercedes
kakienda nilikuwa na hivi sasa umechocho unajua lipa kuna nini hapa wewe sign tu hapa tu alafu usijali ukienda hivi ukamdo yako itakuwa
yeah by the way and then
gut feeling
generally if somebody doesn't give you the time to read the terms
yeah because you don't have time to process that nilika hivi gut feeling unaona unasita miguu azisongi then I'm like hapana this deal is too good this deal is too good then I'm like what if and for a fact I knew I wasn't able to pay that money back within that time
so ulikuwa tunaenda
kupeana mauti mpaka niko na kali kwa sababu basi simchukue miguu basi niache hiyo nyingine na jisort
leave me my sugar
give me my sugar mimi na futsubishi tuko tu hapa so people
but I think for me the biggest message as we start 2021 is whatever you do, whether you're saving, whether you're looking to borrow, ask yourself why.
Usiingie tu because usisave kwa sababu uliona Afrofaba na save wewe uchi Afrofaba na save kwa nini? Unaona so know your why, know why you're saving. You need a reason because boss ushaambiwa utapata hiyo 200k pale mbele. My friend itakunywa maji jambo drowning. Unajua because you're like ati kwanza somebody who was saving alongside they'll be like mi do yangu nini ama they come in driving something nice ama maybe kuna kafroti kameiva mahali na kwa ni best tuende ground breaking
that's it
unaulizwa wewe do yako ulifanyia nini I bought clouds
I think right. For me as we walk into 2021 what I'd like to urge our viewers is just do especially for borrowing a lot of people right now are in debt crippling debt hizo deni hata kulipa pole we will have another show about getting out of debt and how to get out of debt, the steps that you can take, people that can help you. We will have a show just about that. But for today, we're highlighting all these things that we really need to think about as we go into this new year. You know what I mean? So as we borrow, as we save, as we start to plan our spending, let us remember that December is coming, December 2021. Let us start saving for that so that we don't have January again, 2022.
January imetoka wapi?
I know.
Imekuanga tu hapo kwa kalenda ikikambos.
Exactly.
You knew it was coming.
So guys, we know that all these things are coming. Just the same as we knew kids were going to go back to school at some point. Just the same as we know. No, it's true. You know?
The schools, especially the public schools, didn't know the kids were coming back to school on 4th of January. Takasirika on Friday.
So anyway guys, again I say this thank you so much for being with us, for bearing with us,
tuning in. Oh my God.
You know what I mean?
Nyinyi tulishawaambia nyinyi ndio sababu.
Bas.
Hatuna reason nyingine. Tulikuwa na reason nyingine.
Yes.
Tulikuwa kwingine.
Exactly.
But we are here with you just like you're here with us. Oh my God, your support means so much.
So let's just remember why we're doing stuff and stay focused. You know? And guys, thank you so much for joining us today. Tunajua tumekuwa na mahitilafu za
hit chess. Today is that kind of nini lakini si tumemaliza. Unaona at least tumeongea. I'm sure somebody has had something that has brought a light bulb moment. Unajua?
We'll put the full video on our YouTube so that if you missed any bit of it then
you can rewatch it on YouTube and invite your friends and send them links and share this info.
Exactly. So what I'm going to do right now is put a link to
our YouTube
page so that
ukiongea pale once you donjo there you have ukona inaitwaje options and there's a lot more other shows there by the way. So you can click on whichever other show and it depends on if you're feeling kind of relationship manenos like this ingia pale kuna relationship Mondays You find out what we talked about, different relationships, whether it's work, whether it's home, whether it's friends, whether it's romantic.
That's
relationship yoyote.
Yes.
Because I think next week we should talk about our relationships with the school and the teachers. Kuna wazazi hapa hivi wanajua kuletea walimu sirens man. Kuna sinema nimeona but hiyo ni ya siku nyingine. Alafu Wednesdays usually talk about business, money matters, all kinds of money matters, whether ni deni, whether ni kuinvest, whether ni yani bora iko na pesa.
That's it.
We have it.
So guys, Friday matasifiko siku hiyo tunaongeanga juu ya everything and anything. Yani if you have something that is really annoying you, let's have a talk about it, you know.
Choma nani unakasaka unakangeka unatisa. Unaona, so yeah, you come, you tell us about it. Do you have to make a comment section? We shall air it on you.
That's it. But guys, remember,
yes,
as we walk into this new year, let us not let next January surprise us.
Yeah.
Let us not walk into another January like, oh gosh, there's another January. You know,
January.
But I think the biggest thing we have to remember is let us be intentional about what we are doing with our money. Let us educate ourselves. I mean, if you join us every week, tuta share. We are not experts, but we also learn and we share what we learn.
And most of the things that we give you, at least are tried and tested.
Yes. Exactly. So let us really seriously think about being intentional about how we change our money blueprint, about how we change our relationship with our money, about how we change and adapt to this new life as we know it. You know, Corona ilitufundisha agility in your finances is very important. Multiple streams of income is very important, and we can only do that if we invest wisely, if we borrow wisely, if we save wisely, if we plan for the sometimes vitu zinatustuanga lakini tunajua zinaweza kama, you know what I mean. So guys, thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate it, and we look forward to seeing you again on Friday. You know, so
Friday siku ndo tunakuja kulalamika. Leo tulikuwa wazuri wazuri.
We will leave you with a word from our sponsor.
Our sponsors. Na mpige hiyo namba iko hapo kwa ma sponsors. Wako na good stuff.
Definitely.
Just have a good day.
Hey guys.
Follow you Alvin Brown Beats. Alvin Brown Beats. Alvin Brown Beats. Alvin Brown Beats. Alvin